Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We are here. We are queer. We are we are ready to cheer. We are ready to cheer. That's the one. We are ready to cheer for our finalists because it's PadoVGC versus VioPhoenix. Vio is one of our own, and I am Shmon. I'll be casting this together with Laura. Laura, how are we feeling?
Yeah, prayers have been answered. Hashtag free Shmon. Shmon's been stuck behind the desk running the stream all day. If you've been enjoying the stream, it's 90% thanks to Shmon for being the GOAT. So we are here finally in finals. Just waiting to provide you commentary on what is by definition the absolute peak of the tournament all day. These players have battled it out. Now only 2 remain, and we will do our best to give you the entirely unbiased commentary.
Unbiased. I hand to God.
You're biased?
Unbiased.
You're
I'll be unbiased. Yeah.
Okay. I thought if you're biased, I was just gonna be biased in the other direction. We would even out.
I mean, that also works. Yeah.
So let's have a little look.
Let's have a little look-see-loo. So we've seen both of these teams already represented. I've been calling the left team Hot Dog myself, but people have been doing different names. But
Hot Dog?
Yeah, because it's school villain and it burns you, and there's a Lycanroc.
Oh, it's true. Yeah. I had the wrong one open, and I was like, is Toxapex the Hot Dog? Which Pokemon on the team is the Hot Dog?
No. Toxapex is Big Stall.
Big Stall, yeah.
Big Stall.
So we got Hot Dog versus Big Stall, and looking at the time, I sure hope Big Stall isn't big stalling the hot dog I'm gonna have for dinner. Anyway, we're settled in for a great final best of 3 to finish off this tour with these two, well, very different teams. There's not a single common mon between these teams.
It's 12 different Pokemon. 12 completely different Pokemon. It's nice.
And they keep saying that Champions meta is stale.
Yeah, how dare they? Only here at Alpensee will we prove that a lot of teams enter and maybe Charizard wins. But
maybe Charizard wins.
That's what we'll figure out.
These past weeks hasn't been great, but it's Frostlass Sneasler hitting the field against Sylveon Charizard. I don't want to be a hater, but I don't think this is where Frostlass wants to be.
No, Frostlass. This is always one of those awkward positions where Frostlass used to be able to just wait a turn, like not Mega, while Charizards tend to Mega immediately because they have the advantage because they're slower than Frostlass, so the sun goes up later. But because if you then go into that waiting game, you have like this awkward moment where you're like, if I do the waiting game, that means that if they do the waiting game, I'm still in disadvantage. So Frostlass not really having a great time. So what is the plan here? Not waiting. Let's go Mega Charizard Y.
Yeah, just full blast. You've got nothing to lose. Question is, yeah, we see the protect the waiting game. Vio's playing the waiting game here and succeeding because with them, well, he is succeeding at one thing at least, which is for the protecting part. He's not succeeding at the gunshotting part, and gets hit by the heat wave. Also takes it reasonably well though. But I think that Hyper Voice is gonna finish off Fever immediately.
So all in all, what we can say, this was just an unfortunate turn. The Vio calling out, like wanting to get the damage on the Charizard, because if he has some damage on the Charizard plus the Thunderbolt that Vio is running on Frostlass, you are able to get some quick KOs with that. And the nice thing is as well, Frostlass is able to do quite well against most of Pado's team as well. You like seeing the Venusaur, you like seeing the Garchomp. You're not the biggest fan of Toxapex and Incineroar, but at least you're dealing good damage to all of them. Now, Vio has switched in to his Basculegion right now. His Basculegion is, of course, the Citrus Berry, and not really afraid of anything like a Solar Beam, because there's no Solar Beam. Ancient Power all the way, baby.
Yeah, and even if there was a Solar Beam with a Frostlass on the other side of the field ready to Mega Evolve and hit the snow, Solar Beam's probably not the move you would choose to lock into. Instead, Pado just goes ahead, one step ahead, immediately switches out the Charizard just for the potential to bring it back in on the next turn and set the weather back to sun, while Incineroar comes in and is able to take that Blizzard very well.
Yep, exactly. Now the Wave Crash is going into that target as well, into the Sylveon. Is able to survive it thanks to that Intimidate drop as well. Sylveon now being able to deal back some damage with a strong Hyper Voice, as Basculegion is taking a short little break and enjoying his berry for a second.
Yummy, yummy.
Yeah. It's lunchtime. It's time for him to eat. Now, Charizard is able to switch back in and have, then again, weather control. That's the one of the unfortunate things with Frostlass. It is very strong, very good. Loves its own weather. Doesn't really love being able to miss these blizzards either, though. That's the issue for it. And the Incineroar being on the field also with the Intimidate, and then the sun being up also lowers the attack power of that Basculegion.
I think despite this, though, Vio now has the chance to hopefully take out the Sylveon. Also goes for the same preemptive switch that Pado just went for. So we're seeing like a really classic weather war where Pado switches out two Charizard, but Vio already switched out the Frostlass, ready to bring it back in the next turn. And quick attack from Sylveon. Sylveon sees the writing on the wall that it's not gonna live through this turn, even with the Intimidate and the...
Oh!
What?
Yeah, Intimidate and Sun. The combination of that. The Sylveon was able to survive, however. Now, it can go for another quick attack, I suppose. You do have the switch into the Frostlass, that's also possible on one end, but then you are risking it getting hit by something like a Heat Wave or something. The other option, of course, is just going for the raw damage. Saying, you know what, I'm hitting that Charizard, or I'm hitting whatever is coming out of that slot, which could very well be that Incineroar again, putting that Basculegion then at -2, which is also not the greatest of positions. So I'm trying to think here what Vio can do to adapt here to whatever Pado is throwing at him.
Yeah, I think that with the Sylveon surviving, it was very fortunate for Vio that it did not go for the Hyper Voice, that it went for the quick attack. But the problem switching in the Frostlass is that Frostlass is just going to eat a Heat Wave from Charizard, and Rain reduces fire damage, but Snow does not, so that's still a super effective hit coming off a Mega Charizard Y. And we have Yawn from Sylveon into the King Gambit, which in this case is Black Glasses, double Dark Sword Dance.
The King Gambits nowadays are running a lot of live or because Black Glasses has been losing its edge, as in it's not been as powerful as before. While it is very cool looking, definitely when with the sun being up, of course, these Charizard ran very bulky. So if you're not running Life Orb, is that Charizard bulky enough to survive a Black Glasses Sucker Punch? I do believe so, because the answer, what most King Gambits have been finding, was that Life Orb. But now, Aqua Jet plus something else could very well be the end.
Yeah, that was a critical hit through that attack drop, doing huge damage, and the follow-up with the Sucker Punch, double priority into the Charizard. I think even without the crit, to be honest, I think this would have been enough to take it out. But Sylveon, Pado correctly realizing here that something like this might be coming, and that Sylveon should not go for another quick attack and just go for as much damage as it can get. With the Hyper Voice, huge damage on King Gambit, and takes out the Basculegion.
Venusaur coming in, likes its position in a way as it is able to go on the offense, but doesn't like it as much. Oh, did I say Venusaur? Incineroar. Incineroar likes its position, being able to use its fire offensive moves against that King Gambit and against that Frostlass. Two Pokemon that don't really have the tools to hit Incineroar very hard, but with a double up from a Blizzard and a Counter Leap, or even a Sucker Punch at +1, could be enough to try and give that Incineroar the leeway that it needs. Unfortunately, Pado still having one more Pokemon in the back as well.
Yeah, looking at the damage on Incineroar, that was the other Blizzard. Like, Blizzard did 16% to this Incineroar earlier, so I think there is no world where this Incineroar goes down to a combination of Blizzard and an attack from the King Gambit. So even though Vio has now managed to secure Snow as the weather of choice and taken out the Sylveon, I think this Incineroar might prove to be a huge problem.
Yeah, not doing all that much. Flare Blitz actually correcting, guessing, going into that Frostlass slot, Now only King Gambit left, so what will be the last Pokemon? This is still information that's important for Vio to know for the potential next game, for the possible adaptations there.
Yeah, I think it's basically, it was a call from Vio, because if this Flare Blitz had gone into the King Gambit, which might have been the bigger threat here, maybe, and have gone into that Protect, then Vio would have been in a very playable position. But as it stands now, King Gambit doesn't stand a chance in this 2v1.
Nope, Stopper Tantrum will bring it down, and that is first game to PadoVGC. Adaptations that I'm considering is, first off, don't miss your gunk shots. But loosely mentioning that, because that was maybe a detrimental turn in that regard. But I do believe that you would be able to perfectly adapt to this, like try and change like ideas, because a fake out could have done pretty much the same idea, because Pado was really fine with, you know what, let's rip the Mega, we don't really mind it that much, we are able to set up the Sun if the Frost Ice decides to wait for a turn, that's still fine, we still have the necessary tools and switch-ins to bring it back, like for example that Incineroar.
So what I also find interesting is the fact that Vio didn't bring Lycanroc.
Oh yeah.
Like, where was the hot dog? Like, I get leaving home
where was the dog?
But where was the dog? Because, like, isn't Lycanroc supposed to be the Charizard counter on this team? Because Frostlass just is not very good into Charizard.
Yeah, it is one of those things that it makes it really good, because even after Intimidated with the Tough Claws, Rock Slide or Excel Rock KOing the most of the Charizard, that was the initial plan, but now these Charizard running max HP, max bulk now as well, with Intimidate support, and then lastly is that Toxapex. That Toxapex is such a thorn in a lot of players' eyes, because if your plan is just Rock Slide, the unfortunate issue is that Toxapex has Y-Guard and is able to make sure that that Charizard stays safe, at least for the Rock Slides.
I'm also surprised that Toxapex didn't come. Because I also think Toxapex would have been a great choice into, for example, maybe the Rock Slide, and also the Blizzard, obviously, from Frostlass being really strong. Yeah. So both players, I've got to say, making choices that I personally don't understand, but also I'm not the one in finals. Yeah. So let's see what they know that we don't in game number 2.
Okay, we're seeing an adaptation, exactly as you mentioned. You know what? Let's bring the Lycanroc. Lycanroc, you're now providing some good damage with Rock Slide, or even something like Excel Rock. We know that the 4 Pokemon that Pado chose last time was neither the Toxapex nor the Venusaur. But now with this, instead of risking a miss with the Sneasel it was, excuse me. Now you can just go for Double Protect, scout out if the Charizard is going to rip it off again, which makes it a bit difficult as well, because it's just, you're still in a disadvantage when it's Frost Ice versus Charizard, where you have to consider what the options are.
Loki, you know what I thought you were gonna say? Now instead of missing Gunk Shot, you can miss Rock Slide.
I mean you can. Technically.
But instead, Charizard evacuates, and Vio goes for the Mega immediately, calling how threatened this Charizard is by the Lycanroc, and calling that it's going to switch out Pado instead, getting the Intimidate down, but also a free Blizzard turn, I want to say, but look at how little that Blizzard is doing.
It is absolutely disgusting. Oh, the freeze on the Incineroar is very nice, something, a little gift to take away, as a Rock Slide is coming out of both these Pokemon. Now you could get a cheeky flinch onto the Sylveon, making sure that Pado hasn't done anything, but no, it is going to be a Hyper Voice, and what a Hyper Voice that is. 50% to the Frostlass and over 60% to that Lycanroc as well. I love how the Incineroar is just standing still perfectly like that. I love freeze animation, well, non-animation, I guess.
Nice close-up shot as well. The thing is, the freeze now is denying a fake out, but it's crucially not denying, for example, a Flare Blitz into the Frostlass, because Flare Blitz thaws the user. So if Incineroar goes for Flare Blitz, it's guaranteed to thaw, and we've already seen how much this Flare Blitz does into Frostlass, and there's not that much pressure coming out from the Blizzard or the intimidated Lycanroc at this point.
Yeah, we saw that the Rock Slide plus the Blizzard only doing below the 50% onto that Sylveon, giving it, again, ample opportunity to just let it be. We are seeing the Flare Blade, so no longer frozen there. And Sylveon is just able to fire off yet another Hyper Voice. The Sneasel is able to take that because it is more of a bulky variant as well with White Herb. And like, deceptively good special defense as well. But now, it is threatening either the Incineroar or the Sylveon. The issue is, the Sneasel can't threaten both. So we are playing a game where what resource is the most important right now for you or in that end game. Incineroar gives the Intimidate, Sylveon has the necessary bulk and spread damage that can provide some good damage as well. I do believe that Vio has to call which one of these will be swapped out and which one of these will be getting hit by Gunshot or CC.
Now, between the two of them, Sylveon is the one with the option to protect. So Pado could also go for something like a protect on the Sylveon and a switch out on the Incineroar to something like Charizard, which resists the close combat. But instead, we see the Gunk Shot hitting this time into Sylveon. Obviously, super effective. A KO on that, considering it was already chipped from the Blizzard as well, and can barely live a Direct Claw. And King Gambit instead coming in, which isn't the greatest Flare Blitz switch-in I've ever seen, but I think Vio, with the damage already on Lycanroc that he needs for Charizard, is kind of out of options at this point.
I'm not totally opposed to it, because right now you are in a position where Gotcha can come in and can go for something like an Earthquake. You switch into the Charizard in that regard. So, well, actually, I am opposed to this. What am I saying? this is the Scarf Garchomp, very scary in that regard. You can go for something like a Sucker Punch, get some damage at least onto the Garchomp in one of the turns, but it's the following turns that you have to consider.
It's crazy that Pado is playing this so cleanly that you're forgetting that you're supposed to be biased.
Yeah.
Like, just really, really clean switches here. Kind of pinning this Frostlass in the sense that you said Frostlass has a lot of good damage into the Pokemon on Pado's team, like Thunderbolt for the Charizard, Blizzard obviously for the Garchomp, or the Venusaur if it chose to come. But Pado is just putting the Mons on the field that do not mind facing the Frostlass, and in these cases the damage output is just lackluster, and he can just slowly chip away at Frostlass and friends while his own Pokemon remain healthy.
Sucker Punch coming out, doing a little bit of damage as the Garchomp is now free to Earthquake. All of these targets not really fond of taking an Earthquake, of course. I'm trying to think, if in the last turn instead of a Gunshot you went for something like a Close Comment onto the Incineroar, you would have gotten the boost, but then that Sylveon would have been on the field to get a potential double KO on the Frostlass and the Sneasler. So I do think Pado had like a perfect trap set. Like, the flowchart of his plan is working perfectly here, as Vio has to find a way around this. You do have a Fake Out right now, which you are able to make sure that the Garchomp is not able to move for one turn. The unfortunate thing is you're not gonna have your Snow forever.
Yes, and the thing, I think Vio has just been on the back foot the entire set. We've never seen him in a position, or we've never seen Pado in a position where he had to get a call right or be extremely disadvantaged. He's just always had great options, and Vio just hasn't really been able to find that key position that he needs to win from there.
I'm trying to think here what other plays Vio could have made, but it seems like Pado, like every play I'm trying to walk back towards, Pado was in front here. So now we have the Fake Out onto the Garchomp, which is very nice. Now we just, I think we need a Blizzard double connect and a Freeze, because Heat Wave is one of the few moves that doesn't thaw you.
Well, Freeze in the sun, it's not happening.
Yeah, true.
Even that last shred of hope of a win con is being taken away from Vio here, as Pado just plays this matchup so surgically.
No, maybe
Agreed.
rain dance is a call on cross slash.
Maybe the Japanese were right all along.
I think
maybe
they were
rain
right.
dance cross slash.
Cream dance
Is
cross
it?
slash might be the call.
Oh, but you cannot forget that hot dog or chili dog or whatever you want to say. Originally, it premiered in Turin. It was an Italian team, so Pado certainly has a lot of experience playing against this team, and I think this is exactly what we saw in this set. Just really, really good knowledge of the matchup, and I think these last few turns are gonna play out. Vio protecting here to give me more time to continue yapping what I think about the set, but I think that is what allowed Pado to just get into the situation to close it out so cleanly.
No, I agree. I think this was honestly an expertly like this was a game where you can look back and see the exact flowchart that Pado is thinking about. The gunk shot, even non-intimidated, not enough to KO that Charizard. Charizard's ran so bulky these days. Weather ball enough for the KO, and that is it. PadoVGC is your LPC World Celebration Champion. Congratulations.
My mic isn't picking it up, but I'm clapping.
Oh.
No, like great play from Pado here in the finals. We had in the previous sets, we had like some really close back and forth, but this was just, as a Vio fan, I hate to say it, but it was such a clean sweep.
Yeah, it definitely was. Like I like Vio, I love Vio, but man, it was kind of good by Pado. I'm not gonna lie. Like,
He kind of got cooked.
you gotta state the facts. He got cooked. But that's fine. That only gives you the experience and now knowledge of like, okay, maybe I should try and look into this again. Because both players are also going to Worlds, if I recall correctly. Well, Vio is definitely. Pado, I'm pretty sure.
I mean, it's rough for Italians out there. But, I mean, definitely a world caliber player for sure. So,
no doubt.
We're not 100% sure, but we definitely wish him best of luck for San Francisco. And also to everyone else competing there as well. And thank you all for competing today, and thank you all for watching. And I'm just super happy that we were able to put on such a tournament, put on such a stream and everything on such short notice. Thanks to everyone who joined the stream as a guest caster as well on such short notice.
Yep.
And it's such a great feeling that not only are we doing these tours, but there's also people that want to play in them. You know, there wouldn't be any tours if nobody wanted to play them.
That's actually a very good point, yeah. So let me go off after the names real quick. Thank you, Tipple, for judging, and as well, scrolling up for the name because it's been a while. Gento, sorry about that.
Yes.
Thank you very much for helping judging the tournament. Also, thank you to Yuna, Bunny, to Toller, to Big, to you, to me, and Ducky as well, for being able to be casting this event. And very happy with the opposite team trying to whip this event together. But well, a bit later, but it's very fun that we had like the opportunity to do a bigger tour on the cards as well.
Yeah. If you like this tour, we're usually doing showdown tours every Wednesday. So if you want, next Wednesday we're doing a tour because we're doing a tour every week.
Every week.
So you can play. And then also, we're gonna upload this, right?
I've got everything recorded as well. So
we're gonna upload this to YouTube as well. So if you missed anything, if you want to watch anything back, you can check out our YouTube. It should be going up sometime.
Probably soon. Most of the recordings I don't have to edit. So
anyhow, thank you for watching. I think we've covered everything.
Yeah, I think so as well. So thank you very much. Leave a like, subscribe if you're watching this on YouTube. If you're here on Twitch, follow us. Please follow us. It makes my brain tingle. Like, it makes me happy. It gives me happy juice. Okay? I'm also in the middle of this rant. I'm also trying to find someone to raid. So, you know what? Ryo is doing this. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember Ryo from
our
top, what was it, top 8? Top 8 match? Top 4 match?
Top 4,
both of them, actually.
Yeah. Remember Ryo? I love how you said that.
If you haven't had enough Pokemon Champions gameplay yet, stay tuned for some more Draft League action.
Yeah. Okay, I've got it. I found it. So please join and say hi to Ryo. Tell him I'm sorry what happened to you in top 4. Tell him that. He'll love that. He doesn't mind that. He loves that even. So please go tell him that.
Yeah, ask him what he thinks about Rock Slide.
Yeah. Does he like Rock Slide? Ask him that specifically. Hey, do you like Rock Slide? All right. Thank you very much. So see you guys next time at regional, at another stream, whatever. Bye-bye.
Bye.